So this is my Entra Admin Center portal, and I have also logged into my Intune Admin Center. So the first step, like this is going to be the tutorial, or you can say the demonstration for Windows Autopilot. And the first necessary configurations that are required to perform as a one-time task. So let's see that. First, you have to do the device settings. You have to make sure that all the devices, the users should be able to join Entra ID. So you have to do this settings over here. So you can see users may join devices to Microsoft Entra. You can also enable this for only selected groups. And if you keep it none, then all your users will not be able to join Microsoft Entra ID. So this is the one-time configuration task that is required to be completed. On the other end, in the Intune Admin Center, you must enable device MDM. That is, just go to devices over here, and you have to go to all devices. So for Windows deployment, Windows enrollment, you have to go to the enrollment page. That is, we have to configure the automatic enrollment of the devices or whichever joined to Azure Active Directory or Entra ID. So the devices joined to Entra ID will automatically join to Intune if you set this MDM user scope as all or only for selected groups. So that is the case where you want to do it for only a selected groups. So these are the two one-time configuration tasks that needs to be there. And apart from that, you have to make sure that the user who will be signing into the device must have the Intune license as well as the Entra license. So let's say we go to all users. We will take any of the user from over here for verifying the autopilot profile has been applied or not. So I'm going to take Alex Wilbur's user principal name. Okay, so to sign in to that device using the intra credentials over here. So the now next step, we are going to use this same device CW10 CL3. That's the name of the device for importing this device to the Intune registration. So first of all, we have to create a group that is going to be the dynamic group wherein all the devices added or you can say registered to the Windows deployment service will be automatically added to this dynamic group that we are going to create now. So let's name this group as all autopilot devices. And let's say I'm going to give the description over here that this group contains all the devices registered to Windows Autopilot service. And then you have to select the device membership as dynamic device. You can make the owners of this group. You can assign the owners for this group who will be managing the group. Here we have to add a query. Device.device physical IDs. That's any, and it will check for all the devices in that group. Starts with that you can say the expression ZTD-ID. Now here the ZTD-ID, that's the Zero Touch Device ID, which is known as the code name for the Windows Autopilot that's given by Microsoft. So that completes my query. Device physical IDs. Okay, there's a spelling mistake. Let me clear that. Okay, starts with ZTD-ID. So that's going to this group. It's going to evaluate this expression for any devices that will be added to the Entra ID, and it will check if it has the serial number that is being imported to the Windows Autopilot service, and then it's going to automatically add it to this Autopilot group. So this, you can also create the group manually by adding those devices which you want to manage using the Autopilot service. You can then, in that case, you have to select the device and manually add it to the group that you will create. Whether assign, okay, so that will be, let's say, a manual group. Now we have created a dynamic group. Now the next step is to import the devices in Intune. So let's go to our Intune admin center, and here you will see under Autopilot, Windows Autopilot, we will just add a device over here. But to import, to add a device, or you can say for completing the registration, first you have to import the CSV file of the hardware hash of that device. So that CSV file, which contains the hardware hash of the device, which can be obtained through the PowerShell, or if it is done by the OEMs or the partner center, then it's obtained by the barcode or maybe the product ID that is mentioned on the box of the device. So that is another way. But here in this demonstration, we are seeing how to obtain the hardware hash of the device using PowerShell. So install script get Windows Autopilot info. So to allow this installation, I'm just going to complete few prompts. This is going to install the Nugget provider. And finally, the script will be extracted from the PowerShell gallery. So let me also update the execution policy on this computer. Let's say remote signed, or it can be unrestricted, whatever the you want to the script to be executed on remote devices. You'll have to enter the like remote signed value, or it can be unrestricted for executing the unsigned scripts from the internet, or you can say from the PowerShell gallery. So now this is updated, and let's move on to our next step, where we are going to give the command get Windows Autopilot info.ps1. That's the script name. Output file. So my output file, you can give any name to your output file. Let's say I'm going to give it as hardware hash, h hash, and that's it. So here it has gathered the details for the device with the serial number. You can say starting from 458981. This file can be found in the computers folder over here. sorry, in the local C, that is your CSV file. If we open this, we'll be able to see the device serial number, the hardware hash of this device. You can see this. Okay. So the next step is we are going to import this file over here. Okay, we have not, let me update the extension for this file. .csv. It should be in the CSV format. So let's import this device now. Now, once that device is added to the Windows Autopilot service, it will be registered as a part of your Autopilot service, and this registration will create an object in Entra ID. So we are going to see that. So let's wait for that device to reflect over here. So here in Entra ID, you'll be able to see the device now as named as Autopilot. Let's go to the devices blade, all devices, and you can see over here Autopilot device. And the serial number is the same that we have collected using the hardware hash. So that's a unique identifier, and you can see here over here the device is also joined to Microsoft Entra ID. But now we can see the status as MDM unenrolled because the user has not signed into the device, therefore the MDM has not triggered. MDM enrollment has not triggered. Let's go back to Intune portal, and now, okay, it will take some time to reflect over here. It's still importing. And once you see that device over here, then it will be also added to the group automatically. So we will check that as well, whether it's added to that dynamic group. So let's go to Entra ID and all groups, all pilot devices, and the members. In the members, we will be able to see that the device is also added over here automatically. Now, once that device is added to this group, now what we have to check next is we can assign the user from here. I can say profile status not assigned because this device has not assigned any profile, autopilot profile. You can also select this and assign it to a specific user. Apart from that, you can perform the sync, you can delete the device, you can unblock, you can refresh, export the list of the devices that are being registered as a part of autopilot service. Next task is to create a autopilot deployment profile. So let's create a profile over here, and that will be user driven because user has to some provide some input, that is his credentials, to log into the device. So let's say test profile. Now here you can see the settings. Convert all target devices to autopilot. So if this setting, if you set it as no, this will be only for the devices which you have added newly, or you can say which you have registered the new devices. And if you select yes, then all the groups within your MDM, that is Intune, this profile will be assigned to that. Like all the devices within that group will be converted to the autopilot. So this will be required in case of hybrid scenarios when you want to like convert all the device to autopilot in your organization. Now here you can see two options, user driven and self deploying. Self deploying is for kiosks for shared devices, digital signages where there is no user, you can say interaction required. So we are going to select user driven and Microsoft Entra join because the device is already joined Entra ID. If you want to show software license terms, privacy settings, you can select whatever requirement required is by you. Show or hide, change account options, user account type. So only Windows Autopilot has that capability to make the first user signing into the device as a standard user. So we will select administrator or standard user, and you can see allow pre-provisioned deployment. So that's for white glove deployment. Language region that you can select, or maybe your users can select at the time of setup. Configure keyboard, yes or no, that you can do. Next is you will add the group. Let us to which groups you want to add this autopilot profile. So here this group from the intra ID, or you can say which is also seen from the Intune, that will be added. And let's create this profile now. Another important thing is if you want your users to see what's the setup progress during the deployment, when the user has turned on the device, you have to configure the enrollment status page. If you do not configure the enrollment status page, then the default settings are going to be assigned, or you can say the default status page will be visible to the end user. So let's say my test ESP. If you want to show the app and profile configuration progress, let's say the device application installed, device settings applied, user application installed, settings applied. So that will be shown to the user, like how much time it will take, or maybe what is the status of the uh, profile that is applying. So here you can see some settings that you can configure. Show custom message when time limit exceeds or error occurs. Show an error when installation takes longer than specified number of minutes. Show app and profile configuration. Turn on log collection and diagnostics. Only show page to device provision by out-of-box experience. Now here, block the device use until all the apps and profiles are installed. That is, the user won't be able to use the device until and unless the setup is completed. And this setting allow users to reset the device if installation error occurs. So they can reset their devices in any error if that is encountered. Allow users to use device if installation error occurs. Yes or no, that you can set. And block the device use until required applications are installed if they are assigned to the user or the device. That is for all. You can make it for selected groups also. The next is which groups will you assign this profile to. So let's select the autopilot option over here. And if you have some scope tags too. and you can also add that. Now this profile will be assigned to the autopilot group that we have created. Now next step is we will check Alex's license so that it can log into the device. So it does has license of Enterprise Mobility and Security E5. We will see Intune, enter ID P1, P2, Plan 1. Okay, that's it. So now on this device, we just have to perform the reset to see how the autopilot profile works. That is, we have customized. Okay, one more thing I forget to configure is the company branding from the Azure Active Directory, because we are talking about customizing the out of box experience as well. So you can add your browser language, you can customize the default sign in experience for your users, you can add the favicons, and you can see what is the recommended size and maximum file size that is allowed, background image that you can set. Image will appear darkened to improve contrast and legibility. You can see what should be the image size, and the maximum file size should be 300 KB, PNG, JPG, or JPEG. You can that add your company, or you can say image over there. Page background color. So let's say by default it's going to be. Currently we have not selected any, but we can provide that. Let's say we can use this one, or let's say the screen thing I'm going to use. That will be my page background color. And you can add the templates, that is full screen background, partial screen background, header, footer, so that you can do from here. Hide the footer or hide the header, show the footer. So that's the setting that you can customize. Or you can also pass a custom CSS to customize the branding experience. CSS file over here. What will be the header logo? So header is disabled for this setting. That's why it's shown as grayed up. You can also select privacy cookies. That's a footer that will be added. Okay, so let to show the privacy and cookies in terms of use. If you want to display, what is the display text for the terms of use? Let's say Contoso terms of use, and you have to give the URL. So that's the optional part, but yeah, that you can configure. Banner logo, square logo, dark theme, light theme that you want to select. Username hint text if you want to provide. Self-service password reset option will be shown while signing in. Here, let's see, I'm going to give in caps so that we can sign in page. So we will check that. We will cross check that Contoso Corp is in capital letters. So that's the company branding that you have to uh, do. You can also add the browser language for different group of users that you want to customize. Let's say if you have a group users from multiple locations, so in that case it will be very helpful. So now that is done, and let's perform a reset on this device, because we are doing it on the existing machine. So I'm performing the reset to trigger the autopilot profile will be applied. But in case of the new devices, the user just has to turn on the device, connect to the internet, and provide the credentials, select few settings, and he or she is good to go. So This will take some time. So finally, the device is in the reset process.